Our presenter this afternoon is Mr. Ben Cabildo. He is a SCORE counselor and also president of AHANA, and I will be advancing slides for him. So Ben, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, Marvo. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for attending this seminar titled Small Business Resources and Q&A on Payroll Protection Plan. And you all know that small businesses across the country are confronting extreme economic challenges as a result of COVID-19. Financial support at this critical time can make the difference between staying in business or closing permanently, leading to lost income, jobs, and economic stability. AHANA MIBA has been in the forefront of advocating for funding support for small businesses. In the beginning of April, the Department of Commerce contracted with AHANA to help the multi-ethnic businesses in Spokane to promote and apply for the Working Washington Small Business Grant, as well as the Payroll Protection Plan and Emergency Injury Disaster Loan from SBA. We're also providing support through our social media, website, and one-on-one counseling with our small businesses. And this series of webinars that we're doing is just an added feature of our engagement. I hope that you will come away with information that you need to successfully sustain and grow your business. This webinar is fairly general for such complex issues and programs, and we hope that you will continue to engage with us and our partners to deal with the particularities of your specific business. So thank you, please enjoy. Next slide, please. There are many resources for small businesses in the local areas within Spokane County or the state, all throughout the state. So I put together just 5 local resources that you can look into to answer any questions you have and also engage with the personnel of those resources. The first one is basically AHANA MIBA, which is our organization. AHANA stands for African American, Hispanic, Asian, and Native American. It's a local nonprofit organization whose purpose is to help our multi-ethnic, multicultural businesses in the Inland Northwest. So AHANA helps out by providing the following. We provide assistance in business counseling, training, educating, and accessing information and resources that you need to be successful. We also assist in accessing working capital for startups, business retention, and expansion. We assist you by creating awareness of your business presence in the Inland Northwest, as well as we assist you in accessing networking and contracting opportunities with governments, organizations, and corporations. And last but not least, we assist you and the community by promoting workforce diversity to expand employment opportunities for AHANA professionals. So the second resource is called startupchoosewashington.com. This site is managed and offered by Washington State Department of Commerce and serves as a clearinghouse for all information and resources for entrepreneurs startups, and small businesses. The site covers information on funding sources, training and technical assistance, mentorship, education, as well as other information. And the third one is the Washington State Business Development Center, SBDC. It's a network of 30 expert business advisors working in communities throughout Washington to help entrepreneurs or small business owners start, grow, or buy and sell a business. The SBDC advisors provide no-cost one-on-one counseling on all phases of small business development, as well as no-cost or low-cost workshops on a variety of business topics and customized market research services. The fourth one is SpokaneScore.com, and I'm also a member of Spokane Score. Through their experience, SCORE counselors in Spokane, they offer free and high-quality counseling and mentoring, as well as business workshops. And you can see, you can visit SpokaneScore.com. The third one is the reboundandrecovery.org. It's a fairly new website. It's a very important site to help Washington employers like you reopen your door during COVID-19 crisis. Here you will find guidance and resources you need to prepare your workplace and safely welcome back your employees and customers. Also, the site offers business toolkit for reopening, as well as PPE equipment manufacturers list where you can order the things you need to reopen your business. All these 5 resources are available to help you and to help you answer most of your questions on COVID-19 and the support services that is available through them. The next slide, please. For more resources, I put together these 2 sources for current financial loans and grants, in addition to the SBA Payroll Protection Plan that is still available today. So the first one is the City of Spokane put together the Business Resilience Loan Fund to provide eligible businesses with access to affordable business loans through a partnership with Craft 3, who is a community lender here in Spokane. So they provided $100,000 for this program. So to access this loan program, you will need to engage Craft 3. And I put together a phone number there that you can call for more information. However, this loan fund has qualifications in order to be eligible. First, you have to be located in the city of Spokane, because this is strictly for city small businesses. You have to have a credit score of 640 or higher, and you have to have made profit last year, 2019, as well as you have to be in business for 24 months or more. So this is the qualification for this one. The next resource is a grant. It's called the Red Backpack Grant. It's for $5,000 and specifically for female-owned businesses. The Sarah Blakely Foundation donated $5 million to support female entrepreneurs throughout the United States. So it's so if you are a female entrepreneur, or even if you have a nonprofit organization headed by female, you are eligible to apply for this grant. To apply for it, you have to go to that website that is in your in the a PowerPoint presentation in front of you. As we find more financial resources, we will announce it by emailing you if you leave us your email, as well as it's going to be posted on the Ahana Amoeba website. Next slide, please. Now let's shift to talking about the Payroll Protection Plan program of the SBA. So this is fairly general because of time limitations. So we'll just cover the very basic things about the PPP. So the purpose of the PPP is to incentivize small businesses to keep workers on payroll and or to rehire laid off workers that lost wages due to the pandemic. So the federal government put a lot of money into this fund, and on April 27, they added another $10 billion in forgivable loans in the small business. And the loans are still available today. The first round, they ran out of money, and this round, they still have money. And the loan can equal up to 2 months of your business monthly payroll cost, plus an additional 40% for payroll-related expenses. How much you can borrow? You can borrow up to $10 million, and the terms for the payment has been extended to 5 years instead of 2 years. And the interest is fairly low, 1%. So it's a good loan if you need a loan. And your interest is deferred for 6 months. And you don't pay no loan fee or prepayment penalties fee. So who's eligible to borrow? Small businesses with 500 employees or less, sole proprietorship, self-employed individuals and contractors. Nonprofits, veteran organizations, and tribal businesses can also apply, as well as accommodation and food services. They can apply. If you have more than one business in different location, you can apply for each one. So who makes the loan and where to apply? Well, this is an SBA approved loan, but you go through your bank, credit union, fintech to access the loan. So they have to approve the loan, and then they send it to SBA for approval, and then you get the loan. So my suggestion is to go to the financial institution that you have relationship with. In that way, they have many of your information already in their file, and it makes it easier to apply for that. Also, because you have built that relationship, they can understand your situation better. If you've already applied there and you have not received any type of messages that you have gotten the loan, you can look to apply in other financial institution. I heard that Numerica will help you out even if you are not a member of Numerica Credit Union. So next slide, please. Now let's talk about the rules for applying for this loan. So the loan used to be 75-25, but they have changed it recently to 60-40, which means that 60% of the loan proceeds must go to the total cost of your payroll. That includes salary, commission, payment of cash tips, and also includes payment for vacation, parental, family, medical, or sick leave, payment for group health benefits, insurance premium, payment for retirement benefit, and payment for state or local tax assessed on employees' compensation. Now, for the 40% of the loan includes payment of interest on any mortgage obligations that you have, rent, which includes rent under a lease agreement, utilities, includes home office utilities, and interest on loan obligation incurred before February 15th of 2020. But payroll cost at 60% does not include 1099 payment to your contractors, because the contractors themselves can apply for PPP. So how do you qualify? Well, first you have to be a small business under 500 employees. And two, there's no required personal guarantee or collateral like a typical loan. And loan must be used to retain workers and maintain payroll or make mortgage payments. And last, you have to have good faith certification. Lender will ask for a good faith certification that, one, there's uncertainty of the economic condition made the loan necessary, that the borrower will use the loan proceeds to retain workers and maintain payroll or make mortgage, lease, and utility payments, and borrower does not have a duplicate application for a loan for the purpose of the amount applied under PPP. And that is the approved loans. But you can apply, for as many loans as you want, but only one will be approved. So next, please. Now let's talk about how to calculate your PPP. The PPP loans are calculated using the average monthly cost of the salaries of you and your employees. If you are in business in 2019, the max loan that you can apply for is equal to 250% of your average monthly payroll cost in the past year. For example, if your monthly average is 100,000, your max loan would be 250,000. If you are not in business in 2019, you calculate your payroll cost from January 1 to February 29 of 2020 times 250. Now for sole proprietorship, it's different. Your PPP loan will be calculated based on business net profit. You put together your annual net profit divided by 12 to get the monthly net profit, and times 2.5 for your PP loan. So for instance, your net profit is 27,300. You divide it by 12, you get 2,275 times 2.25 equals 5,687.50. So that's for sole proprietorship. If you are taxed as an LLC, your salary is directly linked to your business profit, and will be the amount that you paid self-employment tax on 2019. And if you are taxed as a corporation, your salary is dependent on the running payroll for yourself, meaning that you must be remitting federal and state payroll taxes. But if you're a corporation owner paying yourself through owner's draw, you won't qualify for PPP. So it has to be payroll salary. Just remember, the PPP is set for the salary for 100,000 or less. So if you have an employee who makes more than 100,000, you still have to just write 100,000 and not over that. So as part of your calculation, the 40% of the PPP loan goes towards associated, so the payroll, the expenses associated with your payroll, as I expressed it earlier. Next, please. So what are some of the necessary documents to put together your loan? So for corporations, professional corporations, general partnership, LLC, nonprofit, you need a copy of your government issued organizational documents, your 2019 IRS form, and W3, and 2019 IRS form 940, which is an employer annual federal unemployment tax return. Next, please. For sole proprietorship, independent contractors, self-employed, single member LLC, you need the following forms. Same as the first one, you need government issue ID. You know, after the documents necessary for a loan for sole proprietorship, independent contractors, etc., I wanted to tell you that there are additional tips that I can give you for applying for PPP loan. So basically, the additional tip is, one, it's important that you have a separate banking account to utilize your PPP funds, so that it's easy, so you can easily track it, where the money is going, and so that you have a better chance of maximizing your forgiveness and easier to get. And if you have a workforce reduction, you are allowed to increase your wage as the owner so that you can meet that 60% threshold. And then the third one, if your bank, the bank that you applied for, has not returned any of your email or hasn't given you any type of statement that they have approved your loan, don't continue waiting. You need to apply through multiple lenders, but should only accept one loan. So the next one, please. So now let's talk about loan forgiveness, because I know many of the businesses have already received their loan during the first round of PPP. So just because you receive your loan does not mean that you're going to be forgiven. You have to apply for forgiveness. In fact, it's an 11-page application form. So they're saying that you have to apply for forgiveness. So, but with the recent legislation, you have 24 weeks period to use your funds instead of 8 weeks. Okay, up to December 31st to apply for forgiveness. Because many of the businesses, they can't even open up their business to get the full revenue till after so many months. So the legislation increased that to 24 weeks. But remember, 60% of the money must be used to cover your payroll costs for 8-week period, and 40% used for non-payroll. And there's a penalty that would reduce your forgivable loan. And that penalty is based on the number of full-time employees and part-time from February 2019, and the same pay. So if you reduce your loan and you lower the wages, then you will be penalized and not receive the full loan forgiveness that you're asking for. So you have to bring back 100% of your employees, and then, or you can rehire up to December 2020. And like I said earlier, you can also increase your wages to get up to 60%. And if you have another disaster loan to pay for your payroll, and your PPP loan must be used to refinance that other loan, that is deducting it from your 60% forgiveness loan. You can only have one payroll forgiveness loan. Next slide, please. So forgiveness loan application, like I said, the application is 11 pages. So I will just give a short summary on the application process. And if you need help with your application, please reach out to AHANA MIBA outreach partners, or you can call us and ask for help in filling out the application. It's not a hard application, but it's tedious and long. So first, you need to provide required documents to collect to collect your forgiveness loan. This will be included in your application. You have to have documents verifying the number of full-time equivalent employees on your payroll and their pay rates application, pay rates during that time. You have to have a payroll report from your payroll provider if somebody else is doing it. Or the Form 941, which is the payroll tax filing. You have to have the income, payroll, and employment insurance filing from your state. You have to have documents verifying your retirement and health insurance contribution, because that's counted in your payroll. As well as the 40%, you have to have verification for eligible interest, rent, utility payment, that you have paid. You can use canceled checks, payment receipts, account statements. And if you're a sole proprietorship, you can have 8 weeks of loan forgiveness as a replacement for lost profit. But you will need to provide documentation for the remaining 2 weeks worth of cash flow, proving that you spent it on mortgage interest, rent, lease, and utility payments. That's for the 40% part of it. So good record keeping and bookkeeping will be critical in getting your loan forgiven. You need to keep track of eligible expenses and their accompanying documentation over the 8-week period. And your lenders will likely require these documents in digital form, so take the time to scan any paper documents and keep backup copies of your digital records. So these are the documents that you need. Can we go next, please? So the federal government set this 3 rules process to pass to forgiveness. They're not just going to forgive you, that you have to go through the test of forgiveness loan. And the first one is basically the 60-40 rule. Like I said, 60% goes to payrolls and 40% goes to payroll related. And you have to prove that. So the second one is the payroll cost rule. You have to figure out your qualifying costs within the 60% forgiveness parameter. For example, if you borrow $60,000 and your payroll cost is $36,000, that is 60% of your loan. And your payroll associated cost is 5,000. So you just add that together and that will be your forgiveness loan. So for the remainder of the dollars, 19,000, you have to pay it within 5 years at 1% interest. For sole proprietorship, like I said, net profit is what you go on times 8 divided by 52. You will get your monthly profit. To be forgiven. So the next one is full-time employee rules. This is very important because you have to bring back 100% of your employee to get 100% of your forgivable loan. If you don't, you will be penalized and your forgivable loan will be less. For instance, if you have 10 employees that you applied for before the pandemic and you only brought 9 FTEs after the PPP funding, your ratio of employees retained will be 90%. So if you, let's say the amount eligible for forgiveness is 36,000, and you only brought 90% of your employees, so you multiply 36,000 times 90% to get the full amount, which is 32,400, plus the payroll associated cost of 5,000. Then your total loan forgiveness will only be 37,000. Now you have to pay back 23,000 if you borrowed 60,000. And this is just a quick and easy calculation. It gets more complex when your payroll expense is way below the 60% threshold. So try to meet that 60% threshold, and you will get 100% of what you asked for. If not, it will be reduced by percentage-wise. But anyway, that's all I have. Like I said, it's a fairly complex calculation if you don't meet that 60% parameter. Thank you. So now we can open for questions.
So we have a couple of questions here.
Okay.
One is, if you also have an EIDL loan,
Okay.
in addition to the PPP, what is paid and what would be forgiven or may be forgiven?
Well, if you have an EIDL and you used it for payroll, okay, then your PPP will be used to refinance that. So that would reduce your
Can I use?
loan.
Can I?
You can have two loans that is SBA related for the same expenses.
Can I use the EIDL for expenses and the PPP for payroll?
You can do that, yes. You can do that.
Another question. If I am an independent contractor,
Mhm.
I know I need to submit, I believe it's a Schedule C or E from my tax return.
Yes. Mhm.
So will I need to submit a 1099, or if I don't have the 1099 for last year, can I submit remittance advices or pay stubs from the companies I work with as an independent contractor?
So that might be eligible for the documentation, but it really depends on your on the bank.
Another question here. You mentioned that the person applying to the or receiving the PPP should have a different bank account, so it is easier to
track.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that a recommendation, but not a must?
Oh yeah, it is a recommendation. It's not a requirement, because you want to be able to maximize your forgiveness loan, and maximizing is get all your records together so you don't forget to add certain things. So it's a recommendation, but it's not a requirement. Many bankers are recommending that. It's easier to collect information that way.
Another question here, the forgiveness application. Shall we submit it directly to the bank we got the loan from?
Yes, that's where you submit it. And if you need help with filling out the application, like I said, we contracted with outreach assistant, or you can call AHANA website. AHANA. You can go to the AHANA website and make a request, and we will help you fill out that application.
Great.
Any other questions that have come up, Maria, that you've seen?
Not on my end. Does anyone has any other question?
I'll just do one that came up. It was directed directly to me. Well, it looks like there was a new question. Where can we find forgiveness application? The PPP forgiveness application.
Yeah, if you need it, you can go to the SBA website, or you can just go to AHANA and request for it. We will send it to you.
Actually, I think we may have posted it on our business assistance page, and if not, yes, I'll make sure that it's there.
Yes, and then alongside the application, there's a explanation, okay, of each point in the application. So the narratives.
Another question, can you tell us about upcoming webinars?
Yeah. Do you have that?
I have that list.
Okay.
So the other 3 webinars that we have coming up, the next one will be on reopening your business. The one after that will be on business resilience, building the resilience of your business. And then the last one will be on marketing, how to redesign your communications or updating your marketing strategies as you open up your business. We have to relook at our calendars. I will get those dates posted within the next few days. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to market the next, the Reopen Your Business webinar. So it's not too quick and we can get a lot more people attending that next webinar. But we will have them within June and July. Is that right, Ben?
Yes. And these are important webinars for your business because the pandemic has really changed everything in terms of how you do your business. So these are some of the recommendations of AHANA for small businesses that they need to relook at how they do business in this new situation. And we like I said, like I pointed out earlier, we have those resources. They all help out trying to get your business reopened. SCORE has a lot of counselors that will help you as well. So you have a lot of resources out there, and don't do it by yourself. So try to use the resources available, and they're free of charge.
Great. Well, in the interest of time, we've got a few more minutes, but there's no harm in ending a little early because I know everybody's got a schedule today. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email us at ahana.meba10@gmail.com. Go to our website, ahana-meba.org. And you can also find the contact form there to email us. But I appreciate everybody attending today. Look forward to getting our next webinars going. And Maria, did you have one last question before we leave?
Can you please write down in the chat the email address to make sure everyone has the right spelling?
Okay.
And maybe the website. Thank you.
Thank you. There you go.
Thank you. Bye.
With that, thank you for attending, everybody. We will get a recording of this up on our website, and we look forward to having you participate in our next webinars coming up. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mark.
everyone. Have a good day.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, Ben. Bye.
Bye.